This is Scott Spears, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of The Exchange here on WGH Talk, and we've got a big episode this week. As you can see, we've got the 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, with us, and joining us as the episode goes along will be Matt Morgan, Glenn Coble, and Anthony Azaria, I think, will be with us today, 6th Ward candidate for City Council, because there's a lot going on in the city right now, and we want to discuss that with all of these city residents and people who have a long history here in Marion and people running for office. So we will do that during the course of this episode, but it's always a pleasure to talk with Mary Ellen Withrow. And Mary Ellen, right off the bat, it's unusual that we would start with a local issue, but it's a big local issue. This past Monday, City Council, with a unanimous vote, 9-0, voted to put Charter City on the ballot for November of this year. Now, for people who don't know, basically, there's a lot to this, but we are now a statutory city here in Marion and have always been. What will be on the ballot this November will be changing Marion from a statutory city to a charter city. A charter city, here's how this works, and it's just a brief overview, but essentially, 15 people before August 11th will have to pull a petition to be on a charter committee. Their names will be on the ballot this November. If you vote yes for the charter city, then you will vote for a group of people or a person, they'll sort all this out, to be on the charter commission. The top 15 vote getters will then be on the charter commission. If Charter City passes for 6 months next year, the charter commission will meet, decide what Marion government's going to be. They could get rid of the auditor, they could get rid of the treasurer, they could get rid of city council, they could get rid of the mayor. They could change the police department, which falls under the purview of city government. You can change anything, and then essentially next year, that government that this charter commission puts together would go on the ballot, and if the citizens of Marion vote for it, then it becomes the new government of Marion. So that's where we are. It's never happened in Marion. Charter City's never been on the ballot. And now it will be as of Monday. What do you make of this thing, Mary Ellen?
Well, I think it's a terrible mistake. When I was county treasurer and also when I was state treasurer, Akron was trying to do this, and it was just a mess. And they worked and worked and worked at it. I guess they finally got it accomplished, but what's the point of taking away your elected officials, is my point. I mean, we've got elected officials, they've been there for years, and keep putting in new elected officials and keep your government running the way it should.
You know, it's very interesting. The reason they will tell you that has spurred this on is that they feel the city auditor and the city treasurer are not doing a good job, costing the city money, and they're not qualified for those positions. And essentially the voters are giving us bad people, so we need to take that out of the hands of the voters, or at least put qualifications in these positions that you have to have some kind of background in finance to be put in these positions. I mean, Charter City, you can do anything, but that's what they'll tell you is the reason for this.
Well, then why don't they get busy and put good people in? That's all they have to do, and they can do it.
Well, it's very strange, because I was thinking when they were voting this in, because I was skeptical. I didn't think it would be a unanimous vote. I'll say that. What shocked me was the theory is for them, we want to give it to the people to decide if they want to be a charter city. But making us a charter city, as you just said, takes the power away from the people in choosing your treasurer, your auditor, and possibly even your mayor.
That's right. And it's a different form of government, and we've had this form of government ever since it began. Why change it?
Clearly, we have financial problems in the city. How do you think it got to here? Because honestly, if we had not had this trouble, I honestly don't think we'd be talking about a charter city.
I think a lot of it has to do with the council. I think their handling of the auditor was not proper. They should have done what they should have done a long time ago, and that would have taken care of it.
You know, it's very interesting. Ayers Ratliff, the lone Democrat on council, who did end up voting for the charter city, spoke out. He did give a speech Monday. I'll call it a speech, a statement, whatever you want to say, to the crowd that was there. And he said, I don't understand why we're doing this, because we're giving the power to council to pick the auditor and the treasurer and taking it away from the people. And he said, I would bet if you pulled the voting record of the people on council, they would have all voted for the person that put us in this mess, which was Robert Landon.
That's right. We're well familiar with him.
Right.
Yes.
So here you have where the charter city would put the power of choosing these people in the council's hands when the council pretty much all endorsed the man who got us into this mess.
That's right.
So
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't make sense. But
no, and here we are going to have a different type of government if it goes through, and it'll be a terrible discussion over this and over that, and it'll take forever to get anything done.
Well, and I don't think people realize what a Pandora's box this is.
No, I don't think they do either.
Because, I understand that council's theory is all we want you to do is go in and put qualifications in these positions or make these no longer elected jobs, the auditor and the treasurer. But the charter city committee, you're leaving it up to 15 people.
Yes.
They can do anything.
Yes.
They can get rid of the mayor. They can get rid of the council. They could get rid of council wards. They could change what the police department's description is, because the city police department falls under the city guideline. Yeah. I don't know if this is all that well thought out.
Well, you probably won't recognize it when they get done with it, is my opinion.
Now, there is still a stopgap here. We have to vote on it this November. Do you think it'll pass, Mary Ellen? Because now it's in the voters' hands. Council has left it.
I hope people understand enough about this to vote against it, because it's a big mistake.
Now, another interesting sidebar is the charter committee. Because now the way this is set up, you have to have your petition in to be on this committee by August 11th. But you only have to have 5 signatures, 5 registered voters to turn a petition in to be on the charter committee. Now, there's an interesting caveat in this. If 15 petitions are not turned in by August 11th, which is less than 2 weeks from the time they voted on this, then council gets to choose who's going to be on the charter committee.
Oh my.
So here we are.
Here we go. Yeah.
Here we go. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. I do know there's a push. There was a push Monday to get people to sign up to be on this charter committee so that council would not be choosing the members.
We hope not.
So do you think that enough people will get on this committee?
I don't know, Scott. I have no idea what's going to happen here. It's going to be a problem, a big problem.
Now, as far as the charter committee, this will be the group that puts it together if we do vote for it. What type of people would you suggest should be on this? We know you're not for the charter city, but should it pass, what type of people should be putting this government together?
Well, I think you would want people that understand government. And you wouldn't want people on there that haven't been in government. I think it would be very wise to have people that had been in government in some position or other, You know,
a lot of people have suggested former Mayor Kellogg, if he would want to do something like that.
That would be good.
He's still in the city. A lot of people, because you got to be a resident of the city, that's part of it. A lot of people have suggested Ayers Ratliff, who will no longer be in office with 20 years on city council. A lot of people have suggested Jason Schaber, 20 years on city council, who will no longer be in office next year. A lot of people have suggested Glenn Coble was brought up this morning on the program, somebody who's ran for office. So these names have been brought up. You were even suggested at one point, Mary Ellen.
I don't want to be on it.
Don't want anything to do with it?
No, I don't.
Why, at this point, would you not want to be on it?
First of all, you know my age, and I think just about everybody knows my age. At this age, you shouldn't be on a committee.
So that would be the big reason.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that people who are involved in this should have? It's a complicated thing. The grasp of how this will affect us is astronomical in the city.
It is.
And this election will be a low turnout election because we only have 2 positions up for election. We have the 6th Ward, Anthony Azaria and Ron Prater, and then we have the at-large seat. So I have to believe that this year's election will be a low voter turnout. So do you think that would favor this passing or work against it with an extremely low voter turnout?
It's hard to tell. It really is hard to tell which way that would go. But I'm in the city, and I almost wish I wasn't in the city.
Well, yeah, and you know what's fascinating about this is one of the reasons, it's been brought up before, but one of the reasons it's never been put on the ballot is because council never wanted to give away essentially all their power.
Yeah.
Once they put it on the ballot, they are no longer involved.
It's gone.
So why do you imagine this council would be willing to do that?
I don't know. I can't understand that. Even the thing that gets me is they voted against it last week. And this week they vote for it. I can't understand what happened to them.
Well, and that bothers a lot of people too, that they did give the impression that this was dead because they didn't have everything together and maybe they would try again next year. But they turned that thing around, they suspended the 3 reading rule, and they rammed it down. And now it's only given people a few days to get on the charter committee because the deadline is August 11th, which I think is what really annoys people about it in a way.
Probably does, yeah.
I mean, even though you got to get 5 signatures, you got to go to the Board of Elections, you got to pull a petition, you got to get 5 signatures, you got to turn it back in, and you got to do all that before August 11th.
Well, it isn't very hard to get 5 signatures, I'll tell you.
Well, that also tells you about something about...
Yes, about how difficult it's going to be. It's not going to be difficult.
I just, the whole thing is interesting, and as we go into this, there is an overwhelming theory that the Republicans believe that they will be able to pack this committee, like they have won elections here locally for quite some time, and then they will form the government that we have in town. And then there's another theory that a lot of Democrats are going to try to get on this committee, and then a lot of the Republicans who are in office are going to be in trouble because the Democrats will change the form of government that we have more than they want it to be changed. Certainly I don't think the mayor would be for a city manager. He said the other night in the meeting that he pretty much plans to run again. So he's not, I don't think he would want a city manager.
No.
But it could end up that way.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's very complicated, and I'm not even sure. What percentage do you think of the people going to vote are fully going to comprehend what a charter city is?
They aren't going to. It's just something that people haven't thought about, and it's just very dangerous.
And here we go.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to the voter at this point?
Well, be very, very careful how you vote on this because the future of Marion City is at risk.
And you do not support it?
I do not support it at all.
What's the main reason?
Because you're taking away the structure of government that we have. Why take away the structure of government that we have? Just because we have some people in there they don't want, they should work to get somebody in there that they want.
And we'll see what happens as time goes along. Now, there is another point going on, and this is just one more thing on local government. We'll discuss this more when we get Anthony and Glenn and Matt in here. But they just appointed, now this is interesting because we're all complaining about the finances of the city, and that's why we got to do this. Well, last January of 2024, they created a new position, budget director, in the city, who was supposed to help straighten all this out. That person, her name was Tacey Courtright, she has now left that position to go work as a treasurer for a school district. And the person that, now this is an appointed position. You don't have to live in Marion. The mayor appoints it. You don't have to be elected, which is apparently what we want for good financial people, if you listen to this charter city idea. But the person who the mayor appointed to be the budget director was the deputy auditor from the auditor's office that he said was failing. Now, why would you appoint
I don't know.
the deputy auditor?
That tells you what we're dealing with here.
Well, and my understanding, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but that her background is in real estate.
Yeah.
So here we are. That's where the city is right now.
You're really putting it all out there.
Well, this is...
It's the way it is.
People should know.
They
if,
yeah.
if any of it's wrong, they can look it up. I've never seen... I was saying to somebody last week, city council meetings used to be kind of humdrum. You would go, they'd be over somewhat quick, nothing much happened.
Yeah.
Now, every week there's something out of the ordinary that you would never hear before.
Well, I can't hear what they say. I think they do that on purpose. Yeah.
Well, the miking is a problem. A lot of people have brought that up.
You can't hear what's going on, so how do you know what they're doing?
Well, it's interesting. Last week during the meeting, somebody did yell out that the president of council was mumbling.
Yeah, right.
And then they said, stop mumbling, we can't hear you. So, I don't know why they're not mic'd up in there.
They should be. Everybody should be able to hear what they're saying.
You can sit front row, and sometimes it's a little difficult to hear what's going on. But that's that, and we'll get into more of that when Glenn and Anthony's running for office. He's already released a statement against the charter city. It'll be interesting to get Glenn Coble's thoughts on this. I don't think he's a fan, but we'll see as the episode goes along. Matt was there on Monday, so he can give some insight into what happened on Monday. Mm-hmm. But let's get some national news. We learned 2 hours ago, we're taping this on Wednesday night, I guess breaking news. Kamala Harris will not run for governor of California.
Oh, is that right?
That's what she said a couple hours ago. It's in the New York Times. What do you make? Is that surprising, Mary Ellen?
No, I don't think it's surprising. You haven't heard much from her since the race, and I think that I think she's trying to find how she wants to finish out her life in government, or if she does, You
think this is the right decision for her?
Well, it's her decision. I mean, she has to decide what she wants to do. Other people can't be telling her what to do.
I think a lot of people feel this signals that she does want to run for president again, because this would be the other job that would be of somewhat substantiation. Because I don't think really, maybe senator. I guess she could run for senator.
Yeah, we need another senator in there that's on the Democratic side.
Boy, and I'll tell you, the Senate right now is rough for the Democrats. There's a whole fight.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of people running.
Yeah. Well, here's what's going on in the Senate right now. New Jersey Democrat Senator Cory Booker yelled at his colleagues in a rare occurrence on the Senate floor this week, arguing that they were complicit with President Donald Trump, and his party needs a wake-up call. The exchange occurred on July 29th as Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, a Democrat from Nevada, sought to swiftly move a package of bipartisan bills that would increase resources and funding to police departments and officers. Booker objected to the package and offered an amendment that would require the administration to allocate public safety grants without political bias. That ignited Cortez Masto's ire, who complained that Booker hadn't raised his concerns when the bills passed out of the Senate Judiciary Committee, which he sits on weeks ago. This is ridiculous. This is an attempt to kill all of these bills, she said. Booker responded, "This to me is the problem with Democrats in America right now. It's we're willing to be complicit to Donald Trump and let this pass through when we have all the leverage right now." He also got into a heated back and forth with Senator Amy Klobuchar, a Democrat of Minnesota, who told him that he couldn't just stop bills that come out of a committee and then allow for other bills that fund other parts of your budget, the budget in your state. Booker said he it was nothing wrong for him to do that, and these bills were not vital to his state. What I'm tired of is when the President of the United States of America violates the Constitution, trashes our norms and traditions, and what does the Democratic Party do? He thundered on the Senate floor, comply, allow, beg for scraps. The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call, he said.
It does.
Well, what do you make of the Democrats, high-ranking Democrats here, Amy Klobuchar and Cory Booker going back and forth?
Yeah, I think Booker's right.
That they should not be going along with this.
No, absolutely not. They need to voice their disapproval when he does things wrong. They have to be speaking out.
Now, I think Amy Klobuchar's defense was, listen, I've always supported the police. Why would I not support them now with this bill?
Well, that's another matter. You know, I really agree a lot with what she says and does, but we need to be more vocal. We're not vocal enough.
I guess the overall question here is this doing the Democratic Party any good, these fights on the Senate floor with each other?
I don't think they do, but you need to speak out in a certain way. You don't need to fight. You need to just voice your opinion. Don't get into it with somebody.
You know, we've talked about this before, but we're 7 months into this presidency now. Donald Trump, his approval ratings are at an all-time low. This whole Epstein thing keeps blowing up in his face. But yet the Democratic Party in 7 months can't seem to get their footing for some reason.
Their numbers are terribly low.
Right. Why is that?
I don't know. It's because they're not speaking out.
Well, and who is the leader of the party?
Well, it should be the guy that's the head of the Congress, but I don't think he does enough.
Well, a lot of people feel that the House minority leader, is not been as vocal as he needs to be.
He needs to talk out more.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never can think of his name.
And then you've got Chuck Schumer, who's the minority leader in the Senate.
Yeah.
How do you feel he's doing?
Not good. I don't think anybody's doing very good. I mean, I miss Nancy Pelosi.
Well, and she's still there, but just not the leader anymore.
She's not speaking out like she always did. She always spoke out and you know, people would get upset at her, but that's what you have to do. You have to speak out.
Yeah. Well, have we gotten to the point where people are too passive?
Yes. Yeah. I think that's it. I think they're giving up. You can't give up.
Well, and you would think with a lot of the things, this bill passing, the big beautiful bill, all this Epstein file kerfluffle that's been going on, that the Democrats would be able to run on something. But for some reason, they're just fighting with each other in the Senate.
Well, they're just lumbering along. I mean, they're just lumbering. That's the word.
Yeah. Do you think there's any hope they can get it together?
Well, they could if they would try. I don't think they're trying.
Well, here in the state, this was interesting. This was released from the Ramaswamy campaign here for governor. Following Democrat Amy Acton's announcement that she raised $1.35 million in the first half of 2025 compared to the $9.7 million raised in 4 months by Republican Vivek Ramaswamy, the campaign's chief strategist, Jay Chibra, I think is how it's pronounced, issued the following statement. That's cute. The historic $9.7 million raised in just the first 4 months of Vivek's Ohio gubernatorial campaign shattered all previous fundraising records for the year preceding a general election, underscoring the unprecedented enthusiasm behind his candidacy. Well, here's the gubernatorial race.
Yes, that's another thing we have to look forward to.
Yeah, well, and 9.7 for Vivek million, and 1.35 for Amy Acton.
Yeah.
And where is she?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen her.
Yeah. Well,
I've never met her.
Yeah. Well, at this point, the woman announced she was running for governor more than 7 months ago.
Yeah.
We've known about it over a year now, since it was leaked to one of the newspapers. I believe the Dispatch is who it got leaked to last year. And yet, there's still nothing.
That's right.
Well, how can that be?
It shouldn't be. She should be working very, very hard. Yeah.
You would think all these protests going on all the time, you never see or hear anything from her.
No. She should have a lot of people in all of those protests. That's what she should be doing, and she should be in them too, but she should have a lot of people working with her and for her. Yeah.
You've worked on a lot of campaigns. You've been in a lot of campaigns. What do you think's going on in her campaign?
I have no idea. I think it's really terrible the way she's running it.
If you were involved in it, if you were the candidate and you saw a campaign running like this, what would you do?
Well, I would be all over the state of Ohio giving speeches and just working really hard, because you have to be seen and be heard. Like, as I've said before, you've got to be heard. And she's not being.
Well, you were asked, as we've talked about on 2 different occasions, to run for governor of Ohio. If you had run for governor, what would have been your strategy to win this?
Well, working as hard as I could, going to as many events as I could. You know, I had always had so many events, I had to pick and choose what was the best one to appear at.
How closely, when you were running your campaigns, did you work with your campaign manager?
Oh, we worked, I tried to do everything they suggested if I thought it was the thing to do.
Now, if you had a disagreement, how did you work it out?
Well, I did have a disagreement. I had promised somebody I would be at their event, and she had wanted me to go to a different event. And I said, I've already promised this, I'm doing that one, and she was really upset with me, but I didn't pay any attention to her.
So essentially, you ran your campaign.
I did what I thought was the thing to do, yeah.
So when we look at this Amy Acton campaign, really the buck stops with her.
That's right, she's the candidate. If she loses, it's her that loses, not her campaign manager. Yeah.
Well, do you think that these strategists and campaign managers now have a little more power than they did when you were running for office?
I think they do. But that's because they've let them have it.
Right.
You don't let them have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you were looking for a campaign manager, what did you look for? Because this is somebody who's obviously very important to your campaign.
Yeah, I had to have somebody that believed what I believed, and I would know right away when I talked to them for a little bit, I would know whether I wanted them or not. Yeah.
Was there something you looked for or something they would say?
Yeah. You would listen for what their approach was. And I'll tell you, I had a really good campaign manager. He could think ahead much farther than I could. I was always amazed at how far his mind would be ahead. And I still am when I talk to him.
Now, did you have the same campaign manager all the times you ran for state treasurer?
Yes, and he's been campaign manager for lots of. He worked with Clinton. He worked with the governors of Ohio. He's had a lot of important positions.
Now, locally in Marion, did you have the same campaign manager?
No. I had a local person. It was one of the commissioners.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And were you satisfied with that person?
At that time, yes.
At that time.
Yes.
All right, I tell you what, we're going to go to break here, and we're going to come back. Glenn Coble, Anthony Azaria, and Matt Morgan will join us, and we'll continue the discussion here on The Exchange. Hey, this is Scott Spears with WGH Talk, and we are celebrating the 11th anniversary, and we're having a great time. The whole gang's here. 40th President of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, Superfan Buckeye Guy, Chad Clark, Fred Malone, Bob Welsh, Linda Sims, Matt Morgan, Christian Pearson, Carrie Packett. Even my mother is here. My goodness gracious, the whole gang is here, and we are celebrating. We thank the L&D Cake Shop for this beautiful, beautiful cake. Buckeye Guy, are you happy to be here?
Man, I'm so happy to be here. You wouldn't believe.
Bring it on again.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Bob, are you having a good time down there on the floor? Absolutely. Mary Ellen, are you ready to tear into this cake?
Oh, I am.
Cannot wait for it. And we thank you, the listening audience, for being with us for 11 years. It's been terrific. We thank you, thank you, thank you. And on the count of three, one big happy anniversary. 1, 2, 3, happy anniversary! This is Scott Spears, and we're continuing with our episode this week here on The Exchange. And as you can see, we've gotten a lot bigger than just Mary Ellen and I in the first half hour. So glad to have the group we've got here. Of course, 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow. Matt Morgan, who joins us each and every week, 6th Ward Democratic City Council candidate Anthony Azaria, and Glenn Coble, who was with us for many years here at the station, also ran for mayor, and is one of the founding members of the group Citizens for Democracy here locally. Now, we've been talking about Charter City, Mary Ellen and I. It's on the ballot unanimously, 9-0. Council voted this past Monday to put it on the ballot for November. Mary Ellen, you and I have been talking about it, but just a little overview for maybe people just tuning in now. How do you feel about Charter City being on the ballot this year as a resident of the city of Marion?
I am absolutely not in favor of it. Absolutely not.
Totally against.
Totally.
Matt, you were at the meeting on Monday. Give us a recap of what happened.
I was not there for the...
Oh, that's right. You missed the part about Charter City.
I was not there.
Oh, I was hoping he might have watched it on Facebook. Are we surprised? Yeah, Matt came late that night. I forgot.
There was a bit of
that's right.
Overlap
you weren't there for that.
No.
But you know it happened.
Yes.
Okay, that's all you had to say. You could have faked it.
9-0.
It happened 9-0, unanimous vote. It was an 8-1 vote that suspended the 3 reading rule. But what you can do, because you have been there for a lot of these meetings, essentially explain to the audience what a charter city is and where we go from here.
To my understanding, a charter city is kind of like a constitution for a city. It's kind of like how the city should be run. It would currently we are a statutory city. It would replace the statutory city, and we would now run under the charter should the charter pass. But first, there's got to be a whole charter commission that gets elected, and then the next election, not this coming one, but the one after. You will actually vote on the charter itself.
And the dates that are important, as we tape this episode, you have to have your petition in. So if you want to be on the charter committee, you have to go pull a petition at the Board of Elections. You only have to get 5 signatures to be on there, but they have to be 5 valid city resident registered voters. 5, turn back in before August 11th. August the 11th is the date if you want to be on the ballot. And whether or not to become a charter city is what will be on the ballot this coming November, which is going to be, I would guess, a low turnout election with only 2 races locally, the at-large race and Anthony's race in the 6th Ward. I'm going to come to Anthony last on this because he's already released a statement on Charter City. Glenn, what are your thoughts on Charter City? You live in the city?
My thoughts are exactly what Anthony posted.
Oh, you read the statement. Okay.
I loved it. Yeah, I hate the idea. The problem with having a charter city, first of all, is whoever is in power at the time, I think, will generate more power because they're going to be the ones that are on the committee. Now, and they did say that they're going to take voting on the committee. But you're supposed to be at a meeting at 7 a.m. in the morning on a Monday or something like that, which seems a little unusual to me. Why would they do that? So,
well, I don't know if that's true, but I know that there is a meeting at the Board of Elections at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
We're taping this on Wednesday night, so by the time you see it, it'll have already happened. But I think that's just to figure out how they're going to distribute these petitions and how it's all going to work. I don't think it's going to list your party on the ballot. That was my understanding, that it will be nonpartisan. So
in this city.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Sure.
So there's that. Well, you got your representatives on the Board of Elections. You'll have there's 2 Democrats on the Board of Elections. They'll be there tomorrow morning if they're fighting for the Democratic Party. And hopefully, I mean, there's only 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. So there you go. Well, Anthony, Glenn referred to your statement. Essentially, what is your statement and feeling on the charter city?
So I think that as a city, we have bigger issues that we need to focus on, right? You know, the Republicans are pushing that the reason they have created this charter commission idea is to fix the auditor and the treasurer, correct?
That's the idea.
So they're of the Republican Party, so they're trying to fix their own party, proving that they cannot handle issues that, you know, we are trying to fix. It's been going on for how many years? 3 years
Yeah,
we've been talking about
about
this.
3 years.
Seems like
Oh,
forever.
I would say five.
Forever.
Five. Robert Landon was elected in 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, the city charter.
Oh,
Since-
it's come up a lot. But I mean, in 2022, there was a big discussion about it, but it never made it this far.
Yeah. So I think we just have bigger issues that we need to worry about other than a city charter. Financially, it's not in the best interest. It's going to cost upwards of $60,000, because you have to mail a charter to every single person in the city. So where are we coming up with that money?
Well, you also have to hire an attorney.
Yeah.
Because an attorney has to be present at all the charter meetings of the charter committee to make sure everything's being done properly.
Yeah.
And it takes away one person, one vote. No longer do you have a vote.
Yeah.
It'll be the city, what is he called? City manager?
If they decide to go that
If
way,
they
they can
go that
stick
way.
with the current government that they have, but I don't think they will.
No, I don't either.
I think it'll be, let's have council because they have the power currently. Let's see where we are come November. So I'm afraid that, if you have a Republican-controlled council, you're going to have a Republican city manager, and
sure.
they're hired. So how are we going to hold these people accountable? We're
Yeah.
not going to be able
Well, that's true in a way, but we have a Republican council and we have a Republican mayor, so I don't know that would be a whole big
to.
difference.
But he's elected.
Yeah,
So if-
we can throw him out.
If you have a manager, he's not elected.
Nobody can be fired, and that can happen a lot quicker than elected.
Yeah.
I mean, council could change hands and it could be bye-bye to the manager. That doesn't happen with an election.
The assumption is that the Republicans will fire him, but that I think that's an awful big assumption. I think they will. I think it's the cards are in their court.
Yeah, but
That's a terrible analogy, but
the cards are in their court.
yeah,
When are cards in
well,
a
you
court?
gotta dribble the cards down.
down the court. Weren't you in athletics, Glenn?
I was also.
And a gambler.
Yeah.
You were also a gambler. So you not only played with
I'm
cards.
sorry, I messed
I don't know
up.
what you were saying, but the cards are in their court. Get that up and put that on a banner out there. I don't think. Now listen, I'm not in the mayor's head. I'm not in Bill Collins' head, but I don't think he would want to be made a city manager. I don't think any mayor would want to be made a city
Yes,
manager.
why would you want to?
Right, but isn't that what we just said? That they would want this because then they control who the city manager is? I don't think any mayor would want to be a city manager.
Well,
Did he voice his opinion the other night?
He didn't, but I do know he can be on the charter commission. He can run for it, just like anybody
everybody
else.
can, yeah.
Except council members.
Oh,
And I think that's going to be part of the 7 a.m. discussion. That's really what it's going to be about, is can council members run?
why do they pick 7 a.m. if it's not to avoid having people show up?
I don't talk to Cindy Price, the head of the Board of Elections.
Okay.
I don't know. But again, you've got 2 Democrats on the Board of Elections. It is a bipartisan group. It's 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats.
Yeah, I understand.
Why would they allow that time to be picked if they think this is a loss of power? Isn't this what we've talked about with the Democratic Party so long? If Democrats, Glenn, Mary Ellen, and Anthony, think they're doing this to not have people show up, why didn't the Democrats on the Board of Elections object to 7 a.m.?
We're stupid?
No,
I don't know.
Well, maybe they have to be at work at 8. Is that it?
Maybe. And I don't know that meeting's going to be all that consequential. I just think that's going to be, can the administration be on it? Which I would imagine they could. Can the council? I would imagine they won't be recommended because that could sway the charter. And I think that's pretty much what it'll be.
Couldn't the mayor sway couldn't the administration in general sway the charter?
Yeah, but also it's their job. I mean, the auditor could be on it. The treasurer could be on it.
It's city council's job too. I mean, I don't think you can get rid of the city council per se, but I mean, you could certainly change it up.
Well, what happened to democracy where we vote for a person rather than we hire
That's
somebody?
what we're losing.
Yeah,
This is causing us to lose democracy.
absolutely. Yeah, it might only be a small step to loss of democracy,
Yeah.
but it is.
It is. It's gone the wrong direction
Right.
in our government, and I just hate to see our government ruined.
Well, and it's interesting. So I'll ask the question because it did come up this morning. We already talked to Mary Ellen about it. Mary Ellen says because of where she is at this stage in her life, she would not want to be on the charter committee. But Glenn, somebody said this morning, is Glenn Coble going to do this?
I've been thinking,
There you go.
but
But Now see, here it is. Here comes the but.
There's always going to be a but. When you're 79 years old, you've got other things that you have to do, other things that you want to do, and this isn't one of the things I want to do. So,
But the cards might be in your court, Glenn.
yeah, I understand. I'm thinking about it.
Well, you don't have long to
I got
think. August
about-
11th.
Yeah.
No, because, I mean, let's be honest about this. It is a 6-month commitment. It is not every day. It is not going to an office. You are going to have a lawyer there, so it's not screwed up, which the city is going to pay for. I think the fear is that, as Anthony says, it's going to be loaded with Republicans,
Yeah.
and they're going to shape the government. Well, if enough Democrats get these seats, it won't be loaded with Republicans. Majority rules on this committee, that's only 8 people.
I don't understand how they vote for who gets on the committee. Do you happen to know?
Yes.
So it'll be a 2-question ballot answer. The question. One is going to be, should a commission be formed? And then there's going to be who should be on the commission. That's everyone who's filed. So regardless, you're going to vote for the commission, regardless if you vote no for the ballot initiative. So if that doesn't get the affirmative vote, then they don't count the people. But if it does, then they count.
Well, and also a big question right now, having less than 2 weeks for people to have their petitions in, if there are not 15 people who sign up to be on this thing, council gets to pick who's going to be on this thing.
And then it would definitely be Republican.
So that's why, I mean, I don't, it's, you know, I mean, I understand why people don't want a charter, but I think this is a chance for the Democrats to bring out some heavy hitters and listen, if you don't want the government changed, win the election and get 8 people and don't change anything.
Who are those heavy hitters that we're supposed to bring up?
Well, I think people who are known.
Okay.
I mean, that's what people vote for on a committee, I think.
Okay.
I mean,
There's groups that we could, I hope the groups are paying attention to this in Marion that are very political.
well, as I said earlier, I mean, I can understand why people would not want to run, but I also understand the idea that it only takes 8 people to be in control of this committee, 15-person committee. That's exactly how it will work, will be majority rule. And if the Democrats really are worried about this, a lot of people who do not want to hold political office at this point, like you have said, Glenn, can run for this, be a part of that 8, and then if you don't want to change anything, don't change anything.
But my question is, how you say you can run for it? Who
Yeah.
who selects? I mean,
The voters.
okay, so it'll go out to a public vote.
Yep. In November.
Oh, okay. So that will slow everything down by a year.
No. It'll happen in November.
Yeah.
You will vote if you want a charter city or not.
Yeah.
And then the however many people will get petitions, they'll all be on the ballot. The top 15 vote getters will be the commission. That will start in January, crafting this charter, which will take about 6 months. They'll have to have it done around.
So in
June.
a dominantly Republican town, you think there's a possibility that there might be a possibility that a Democrat might.
Nonpartisan. There'll be no DRR next to these names.
Oh,
Well,
people
that's
know
what
who
I
they
wondered
are.
if
That's-
it would be marked.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we'd
Not-
have to find out.
I'm pretty sure that it will be a discussion at the Board of Elections tomorrow morning. But again, I would be calling those Board of Elections members who are Democrats saying, listen, you know, it's supposed to be nonpartisan. I think that was in the legislation that passed Monday night, that it was nonpartisan. So I don't think there will be a DRR next to your name.
I've been in a nonpartisan vote, and everybody knew that I was the only Democrat in the nonpartisan vote. So
But yeah,
I
but
don't
that's
believe
but
that
that
crap.
but
How'd
that's
that work out?
I lost. That was my worst loss.
well, but also that's 2 people, and it's easy to know what's what if one person makes it an issue. When you've got, let's say, 20 people, that's a little more difficult.
Okay. I'm not
Really? So you think at this point?
I think this is a horrible idea.
Well, but
I'm with Mary.
I understand, but the train has left the station.
Yeah, it left on a Republican truck.
Well, but
That's right.
well, okay,
You got it.
but the lone Democrat did vote for it as well.
Well, what was wrong with him?
Well, here's the question. We'll have to ask him.
He shouldn't have done that.
Unanimous vote.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I don't. The whole thing is confusing, but I do believe it's a Pandora's box. I don't believe the people who voted for it understand what this could do. I don't think the people who will be voting on it in November understand the
I
ramifications.
think you're right. I think they don't understand it at all.
Absolutely.
That's what's wrong with it.
And here we
Yeah.
are. But, we've got 11 days, essentially, to get, if people want to get on this committee, then that train's left the station. That train's still in the station at this point. So, Glenn, are you leaning more toward yes or no?
I'm leaning more towards no.
Really? But then...
I've run for 10 years at something, or 12 years for something. I am exhausted running and having people tell me I'm going to lose, or having people...
Yeah, but I don't think this is a campaign. I mean, I don't see these committee members raising money and out there campaigning.
Let's see,
I don't
how
think
many
how that's
offices
going to work.
have you run for?
I
So
don't think-
you don't know.
Glenn's a little fired up tonight, I think. Glenn's a little fired up. No, Matt, I mean, do you think people are going to be campaigning for these offices? They got 3 months.
Well, you're going to have to let people know that
Yeah.
people need to know who they're voting for here.
Well, I think that's why the theory for the Democrats is name recognition. I think that's what people who already have it are not going to have a DRR next to their name and might be more likely to get the vote.
Oh,
I think that's the theory they're looking at right now.
Is it?
That's what I
I'm
understand.
glad to know that.
My feeling is that if it's going to go in name...
It's a rough conversation. It's a tough one.
The more you talk about it, the worse it gets.
It's confusing, and that's what I'm afraid. Listen. Being in the news business, at best, I just want people to understand, because once we get past August 11th, it's over. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't rethink it then.
Well, let's see. There'll probably be about a 10-12% interest factor in this.
Oh, less than that.
Yeah, maybe
It's going to be an off-year election. I don't think people are going to be turning
They're
out.
not going to know what's going on, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll just vote for their friends, and this is a Republican town, so my guess is it'll be more Republicans. But I'm just guessing.
I don't know, Matt, with a nonpartisan ballot, and you can run anybody, do you think that's true? I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, I don't know that there'll be like fundraisers and then the whole nine. But I figure you have to you have to let people know.
You think people
show
are
up
going to get?
to
I don't
vote
think people,
for you. I mean, there's got to be some kind of campaigning going on.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to come down to signs and yards and?
Well, I was going to raise $100,000 for your station to
Were you?
put my
Oh, well,
ads on.
Do
yeah.
that, Glenn. Do that. Do that. No, I'm just saying. I mean, Anthony, can you believe that would happen? I can't believe that you would even have the time to do that. You only have to get 5 signatures to get on this thing. It's not like heavy lifting.
I mean, in theory, if we don't have the 15 people run,
Then you're going to get the council's
you're going to have
choices.
council to fill the
That's
other
right.
50. So if you're spot number 3 and council fills 12 spots, you're already going to get. So I guess
SOL.
it would depend on how many people run.
Here's what I will say.
Yeah. Now, if you
I-
have like 20 people running, you're going to have
The council gets to fill none.
Correct,
Zero.
but then
Right.
you're going to have to get that name recognition out to make sure you're one of the 15. You have to be
Right.
5 people.
But you don't know. We're not
Exactly.
going to know until sometime in August. So wouldn't you rather have name recognition going in, which I think is why they're approaching people like Tara Dyer, school board member. They're approaching people like Glenn, who has run for office at least 3 times.
I figure anytime.
I think it's why they were thinking Mary Ellen at one point. I think they want people who people know who don't have to go out and campaign.
I mean, I think anytime you run for anything, having name recognition is probably a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think you want to have to introduce yourself to a whole bunch of people every time. I mean, I think name recognition is good in general. I mean, so again, it's still just campaigning. It sounds like.
I'll tell you this. I do believe the Republican Party is more enthusiastic about getting people on this committee than the Democrats right
It
now,
was
but
the-
that could change.
It was their idea to begin with, so yes, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, that is true, but the Democrats do have the opportunity in these 11 days to turn that on their head.
To destroy their government.
And I don't think
That's
anyone's
what
asked
they're
you,
doing.
Scott. Do you plan on running?
I don't live in the city. I don't live in the city, so I would not.
Great answer.
I know.
You're
no,
not
no,
in
but
the city.
I'm not in the city.
I didn't know that.
No ball
Yeah.
in my, no cards in my court at this point. And Matt, you live in Caledonia.
Yep, I also
Avail-
do not live in
chickens
the city.
and ducks are their problems over there. No,
Oh,
so there'll be no. But even if I did, I wouldn't, because you can't when you're in journalism. Well, are you going to run? Because I don't know that you can't at this point. They haven't said that.
I thought about it for a brief second, but I think, in the event that I win November, I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be conflict of interest.
But what if you can pass it off? We don't know that yet. I mean, this has come together so quickly. I don't think people quite understand what's going on.
I don't think anybody understands.
No.
And here comes the
problem.
7 a.m. meeting
That's
at
the reason we're in this mess. They don't understand what they're doing.
So here we are.
Yeah.
So Glenn, you don't know. Leaning more toward no?
Yes, leaning more towards no.
Okay. Well, who should be encouraged to do this? I guess maybe that's the question.
That is a good question. Who would I encourage in the Democratic Party or has Democratic leanings to do this? And I can't think of enough people with name recognition that you could get half of the 15, or 15 is it? Yeah. I don't know that you could get half of the 15 with name recognition in the Democratic Party.
What about your club?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it. And
Do they think it's a good idea?
No.
Do they want to keep it from happening?
yes,
Okay.
and we talked about that at our
Okay.
last meeting, but all we can do is vote against it. So
Well,
But
you
they
can get them
could
to committee.
run.
You're right. They could run.
yeah, they can.
Yeah.
And maybe we're going to have a rally this Saturday, and I'll bring that up that we need to start running people for that.
And that women's group, has anybody talked to them?
That's a good question. I
You
would.
get them to run.
Right. Well, I would think you're having this
Which-
protest this Saturday. I think that would be a big conversation at the protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Why
would
don't you
bring
have
it
some
up.
forms down there?
Yeah.
You get your 5 signatures on Saturday.
Yeah.
You got to plan ahead for these things.
Yeah.
Do they? I thought they were going to be handed out the form.
Well, you have to go to the Board of Elections to get them, but if you wanted to be a part
Can
of
you
it,
get 6 or 7 of them, or you can only get one for you?
you might only be able to get one for you, but all these people who need to get 5, if they're going to that protest, could go down and get it Friday and take it to the protest and get it done right there.
Oh, yeah. It'd be easy.
Yeah, you could flood the
Yeah.
ballot.
Tomorrow's Friday.
No, tomorrow's Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got an extra
This
day.
is
of
Wednesday.
life.
This is Wednesday. So, but no, I see. That's the thing. I keep wondering at these protests because I've been to a couple of them to cover them. Nobody's signing up people to vote. Nobody's getting names and numbers. I mean, 300 people show up, but okay. I mean,
That's a different thing. We have had the times where we have booths where we ask people to sign up for things. It's almost impossible. While people are marching up and down and people are honking their horns and flipping you off while you're...
don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, but it makes it very difficult to have a sign-up area. So we have done sign-ups at other areas, but not at the rallies. So rallies are just not very
Couldn't
conducive
they
to
just like
sign-ups.
walk up and down?
Yeah,
with a
couldn't the person
clipboard?
walk around with a clipboard?
Yeah, I
I
don't know. I
suppose
don't know
you
what you
could.
need the whole spot set up for.
I mean, I'm not telling you how to
You
run your
guys,
rally.
no, you guys have great ideas. Why don't you come down and help us do that?
Well, we're a news station. We've got to be. But there's your idea. Blow that off.
You're full of
What
crap.
does that mean?
He's using that as an excuse.
Yeah, I know
No,
it
I'm
is.
just. I
Always
know,
has.
I know you can't do
I
that.
can't do that. But I do.
You're supposed to be neutral.
I'm supposed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like that, but no. I wonder sometimes. But I would say the same thing to the Republicans. If they were not in power, I'd say, why are you not signing up people if you're having big groups
Well,
of people?
first of all, if they weren't in power, we wouldn't even be doing this.
No,
Yeah.
that's right.
Well, there you go. There's that. Well, the big discussion in 2022, I believe Democrats were the majority in power then. It didn't make it to the ballot in 22, but I think they were in power when the discussion came up last.
Maybe.
When is your rally, Glenn? Citizens for it's
From noon till 2 on Saturday.
and this one is for
Oh, shoot, I knew you'd ask me that. It's a national thing. And
you got a sign.
That's the wrong sign. I mean, that is...
No, but let's see the sign.
Okay.
Yeah, you brought it.
I'll show you the sign.
The
but this,
wrong sign.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know what that
it
means.
isn't the cause. This one
Right.
says, hands off my education.
Oh,
That's
okay.
just one of the dozens of things that the Democrats are fighting the Republicans about.
Okay. But so this is just essentially a...
Well, I'll look it up while you're talking.
Okay,
Go-
go on.
keep going.
There you go. Anthony, what do you make? Are you going to be at the rally on Saturday?
I am
12
not.
to 2?
I have a trip planned.
Trip. All right. Who would you encourage? You're on the inside of the Democratic Party now. You're running for office. Who would you encourage to run for office? Who's at these meetings? Joanne Casotis. Couldn't she run?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
She's
Anybody
be a
approach her?
good one, yeah.
Yes, she would.
Well, here's your
Except
name.
for she is in office, though.
Yes.
But she's not on city council.
No.
You can
But
run
she
if you're in
might
office.
get a lot of pressure not to because she is in office. But
What about Christian? Could he?
Christian could. Yes, he's a Marion
What's
resident.
he doing?
50-50, he told me that he would do it.
50-50.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, he's got to be more than that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's where he was, 50-50. Didn't he say 50-50? Yeah, I didn't hear that wrong.
Well, my goodness. We're going to have to get after him.
Well, and there are people. I mean, Teresa Lubke certainly would be one.
I think she's very interested.
Very interested. As I said, Tara Dyer, she sits on the school board.
Yeah,
She's
Tara, is Tara going to be on it?
1 minute she said yes, the next minute she said no. I think this is becoming a problem in the Democratic Party right now.
Well, it's a problem.
I wonder why.
It's a problem with anything, any cause that you're involved with. You get about 20% of the people that give a rat's behind, and that makes it tough. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have no idea that I ever ran for any office, and I've run for 3, including the mayor and state rep.
That would work for you, though, in this case, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they should know what's going. People, we have ignorant population right now. We do. I know. That's why I don't get voted.
God,
But
we can't say that sort of thing, Glenn.
Why not? I want to
Maybe
tell
it's
the
not
truth.
maybe it's not the D next to your name that's the problem
Well,
here.
maybe
There might
not.
be other issues.
Maybe people don't want to hear the truth.
Well, I don't
You're
know.
right,
I'm
you're
not.
right.
I don't know, Glenn.
In his defense, I wouldn't say it's ignorance. I think it would be uneducated regarding the issues that affect them.
Let's see, uneducated.
Oh,
ignorant.
stop, Glenn.
Sounds like the same thing to me, but go ahead.
Okay, well,
I was trying to make it nice for you, Glenn.
he was trying to clean it up for you, but you just want to leave that mess
You know,
right there on the floor.
I like to maul around in the mud and the
Well,
dirt.
You want to run, though, don't you, Glenn?
No.
Yeah, I think it's down in your belly. I think you think that last minute you think it's only going to be
Ham I had?
5. No, I think it's a fire in your belly that you know it's only 6 months. You know you could run for this. You know it's only 5 signatures. You live in the city. It's crafting the government that this city could have for the rest of eternity.
But the fire in my belly has been sprayed on by all sorts of liquids for the last 12 years.
Well, take some Tums and move along.
I don't think people want me to.
I told you, Glenn. Somebody called this morning and said, is Glenn Coble going to be on that committee?
Well, now I'm a little bit closer to saying
well, there we
yes.
go.
I've never heard anybody say that.
They did this
My
morning.
wife said, don't do it.
Well, it's not a long commitment. Now, and also, I mean, Tom Pannett, there's another one.
Yes.
Long-time Democrat.
He'd be good.
Long-time
They all know he's a Democrat.
city treasurer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Certainly knows government.
What's
Yeah.
the guy's name? Corey Brown?
Corey Brown
for
ran
city
for office
council,
not too long ago. Ayers Ratliff will not be in
Yeah.
office next year, a 20-year veteran of city council.
I thought he was running for something.
No.
Pulled the petition.
Rocky
never actually
Ratliff,
turned it
who's
in.
on school board. He's a Democrat as far as I know.
Yeah, he's running for school board.
But he could
again.
run for this.
Ryan Ratliff, he's living here now.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there are Democrats in the. Would any of your daughters consider it, Mary Ellen?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. Well, I've got one, but she doesn't live in the city. I don't have anybody living in the city.
Oh, no more left in the city.
No, they're not. She's not in the city.
That would do.
Yeah.
Do you have any relatives in the city at this point?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Do you think any of your friends where you live would want to run?
I don't have any friends.
You got me, Mary.
No, you've got friends. You've got friends.
No,
No.
He doesn't like you, but I do.
No.
My friends all died.
Really?
They did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Grandkids? No grandkids in Marion?
No, they're all somewhere else.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, they're in Columbus or Arizona or California or.
I just think at this point it's going to be, are people in the next 11 days going to turn people out? Because you can still be against the charter city and say don't vote for it, but as a backup plan, you got to have people ready for that committee if you don't want a Republican-ruled committee, as Anthony has stated here. So it comes down to that. I mean, it's not as if it's a guarantee that you're going to be on the committee. I mean, it could still be voted down no. You can campaign hard to vote it down. I mean, it's not there yet.
Ooh, that would be change.
It's going to be a low turnout election. You know, we're not done yet. We're going to take a break here. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the rally coming up on Saturday. Talk a little bit more about Charter City. Going to talk about Anthony's election as it approaches here this November with the gang. Stay tuned here on WGH. Hey, this is Scott Spears with Matt Morgan, 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, and former wrestling referee Fred Feeney. Surviving OSU on HBO Max right now. #1 documentary in the country. My goodness, it's the Ohio State scandal, and it's a great documentary. You've got to see it. Fred, in the documentary, you talk about Jim Jordan and his connection to this whole situation. What can you tell our viewers about this?
I know that they know.
Matt, what do you make of this?
I think it's rather unsettling, and I think Ohio State should try to do something to fix it at this point.
Mary Ellen, how do you feel about the whole thing?
I think he knows.
And there you go.
Yeah.
I know he knows.
Yeah.
And we're back here on a very lively edition of The Exchange. 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, Matt Morgan, Anthony Azaria running for 6th Ward City Council, the Democrat in that race, and Glenn Coble.
You know, you introduced Mary Ellen as the 40th Treasurer of the United States. You could introduce me as the 3-time loser.
Well, that's what I do when you're not around. Glenn, that's what I say when you're not around. I say, can we get that 3-time loser on the program?
You don't want him to use that.
No, Glenn.
Okay,
Don't
never
you want
mind.
to? Now listen, you know, the other day I was talking to somebody, and I say, even if I was not in journalism, I would not have the courage to run for office. I think it takes a lot of courage to run for office.
Or ignorance.
No,
In my case.
Glenn.
No, don't say that.
No.
No, we have to have good people run for office.
Yeah, we
Right.
do.
We got one right here.
Got it. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Anthony, you're 25, right? Okay, why are you running for office? Let's get into that.
I think we need young people. We need someone who's willing to put Marion first. We need someone who understands the issues that affect the everyday person. You know, I'm 25. I don't have a retirement set up. I don't have a grand old pension, nothing like that. So I understand the struggles paycheck to paycheck. And I understand that every issue that's passed is affecting every single person in Marion, not just the select few.
I say some terrible things about running for office, but really, the 3 times I ran for office, I enjoyed them all. I really did.
And running for office is a lot of fun, as far as
It
I'm
is.
concerned. I love talking to people.
If you like talking to people, it's great
Yes,
fun.
I've learned. They'd tell me things. I'd think, well, that's crazy, and then I'd go home and I'd think about it, and I thought, that's not crazy. It's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
You know, Mary Ellen, for somebody who might be on the fence, let's say a Tara Dyer, let's say a Glenn Coble, let's say a Christian Pearson about running for charter committee, what advice would you give to them?
Well, I think they should do it because everybody knows their politics, and it would be easy for them to run. I don't want to run because, my gosh, I'm far too. I mean, how long is that going to be before they decide it?
They'll decide it in November, but the actual taking place of shaping the charter would only be a 6-month commitment. But
See, 6 months, that's a long time for me.
Well, no, I understand, but
Yeah.
I don't think they meet a whole lot. I mean, I really don't think the schedule is that rigorous. I really don't. I believe that I would be surprised if they met once a week. I would really be surprised. They might meet once a week, but I can't think any more than that. And they've got to have it done by June, so it's no longer than a 6-month commitment because they've got to present it for the vote. So it's really not a huge commitment. I mean, and you can just get on there and say, I don't think anything needs to be changed. That can be the
That's
stance.
the way I feel.
That's the way I would feel.
So I mean, I don't know. I think I understand why people at this point would not want to run for it. It does sound like a big commitment, but it is a short commitment, and I also do think it's it's only what you want. It's what your ideas are, and you know, that's pretty much all there is to it.
I think there's a lot of questions that haven't been answered, and I think that's not helping people wanting to run.
Yeah.
If it was clear of this is what you're going to be doing, this is what we expect, I think it would be easier.
But I think also people who are first of all, it's 5 signatures. As we said earlier, that's not hard to get. And also, it doesn't mean you're going to be on the committee, because if it's voted down, nothing. It only means if it's voted up, then, hey, I want to make sure that it doesn't go all the way down the toilet, I think is the idea. You know, and I think, Glenn, maybe that's something that would weigh on your mind, is that, it's not like you're signing up to do the job. You can still say, I think this is a bad idea, and I think you should vote no. But if for some reason we do vote yes, I'll be one of the people. Honestly, it's like being a part of the Constitutional Convention. That's what it is. You're deciding what government is. You're not running for office.
Okay, you flip me over to the positive side.
So you're on the more toward yes than no.
Good. That's good.
Yeah. But I think that if it does happen, having your name attached to it's not a bad thing. Because you can go in there and say, I think that's a horrible idea. I don't think you should do that. And somebody needs to be there doing that. And I do think experience... See, this is one of those things where I don't think being young is necessarily the best idea. I think people who've done it and seen what works and doesn't work is a good thing. That's who I think you'd want on that committee.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Matt?
Well, I really don't know as far as the committee goes. I think that the Democrats could probably do. I think that they could probably block up a vote to get some people in. Like Anthony was saying earlier. If there's like there's 15 people on the committee. If 12 people run, then you're in. You won. Congratulations.
And it's a low turnout election, and they've only got
it's
11 days. It's going to be the people who know who are going to get on this thing.
And as far as I think that's probably true to something. I think a lot of people, around my age, probably don't have a whole lot of life experience outside of like living, inside like living by themselves. So I think that a little bit, some experience would probably be beneficial there. Yeah.
And I do think, honestly, that people maybe like Glenn or like Tom Pannett or like maybe even Tara Dyer at this point, who would not ever dream of running for an office again, might give this a thought because it is a limited thing. It is not a daily office, and it is overseen by a lawyer,
Also,
so you're not going to do anything.
nonpartisan, I forgot about the nonpartisan.
And it's nonpartisan.
Also, if it is nonpartisan, I think there's a.
Then it's all name
then,
recognition.
Yeah, then there's a fairly decent chance.
We
that
don't know
they could
who
get
the
some.
lawyer is, do we?
That will be hired after the vote up or down. But I'm guessing it's going to be the guy who spoke.
Problem too.
I would guess it's going to be. I would guess it's going to be the guy who came down and spoke. I would be hard unless he's busy.
Who is that?
What was his name? Hunter something. Yeah, he's been here before.
Is he from Marion?
No, he's from Columbus. But he would just be there to make sure that the language is correct.
Legal.
To present to the voters, and the city has to pay for that.
I'm curious to see what Republicans have pulled petitions, if any, at this point. Because if we, strategically, did they have somebody pull petitions before Monday night?
I think you're going to see a lot of police officers. That's my prediction.
Oh, really?
I do, because I think they know that
mayor?
they're... I don't know if the mayor will or not. I don't know.
No, do you think that the police officers will do it for the mayor who used to be a police officer for 38 years?
I think they'll do it because they know people aren't talking about the fact that the city police are under the city government purview, and they could be changed.
Really?
Yeah, and I think they know that.
The firemen too?
The firemen, the city fire, yeah, they would be under the...
Oh my goodness.
But you see that...
I'm firing them all.
But they would have no... really, do they have any name recognition? Probably not. Are they partisan? I don't think so. So, it's a very curious thing. It's a very curious thing how this all will work out. But, it seems like the Democrats are against it. But I would hope that the Democrats would not put anybody on, not put somebody on that commission just because they're against it. Because if it does pass, then you're going to have the Republicans making up the city government forevermore.
There's nothing to stop you from running for the commission and voting no.
Exactly. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. Yeah. So, what do you think, Anthony?
Just wait and see what happens. Gonna need a lot of drinks.
That'd be some. Well, it's a low turnout election. That's why to me name recognition is ultra important. Well, are you in the 6th ward?
Yes.
There you go.
I know.
You go.
Yeah, I'm in the
He's already stopped by my house.
6th ward. You've already got 2 votes. Well, we know you'll have 2 votes election night. You're on your way. And it's going to be an historically low voter turnout. There's nothing statewide. There's nothing national. There are only 2 races locally. What kind of turnout do you think that's going to be? If we get 7% of the voters turning out this time, I'll be shocked. I don't even know what would draw the people in the county aren't going to
Why
vote.
would they come? Yeah.
Right. So you're going to have a very small group of people voting for this. So I don't think you'd have to campaign hard for it. I mean, people in the 6th Ward are going to vote, and people at large are going to vote.
I think it's certainly doable if you got enough people to come out and vote for you. I mean, I like it. I mean, like you said, I don't see there being an absurd amount of voter turnout on this.
No,
I mean, this is a pressing issue, so do we think this is going to draw people out, or?
I don't think a lot of people really understand the weight of the
people
charter.
believe that.
No, I don't think
I
so.
think most people think it's a non-issue.
I do, and I don't think most people understand what it is, and I don't think in 3 months there's enough time to understand what it is.
I think that there's a general feeling that if the charter passes, that nothing will change. But
Which is not true.
Yeah, not
Probably-
true.
probably.
Probably not true. Yeah. I
Well,
mean, you don't know, but
and
yeah,
I certainly
probably
think
not true.
will the auditor run? She can. Will the treasurer run? He can.
That'd be interesting to find out.
Well, they got good name recognition now.
Oh
They do
yeah,
have good name recognition. They've
I
got
don't know about
that.
good, but they got some recognition.
Yeah,
What
that's what I
happened to
meant.
the auditor? Is she still there?
Still there.
See, there you are. They should have done something about that 5 years ago or
Now,
whenever
who
it
is
was.
replacing Tommy? Do we
We
know?
don't know that yet. Don't know.
And they only have 11 days, correct?
Well, yeah, because Tommy says he's not running for re-election, but he is on the ballot for re-election.
So if a Democrat were to, at this point in time, announce they're running and Tommy drops out of the race, they win by default?
Well, no, because no Democrat got on the ballot, which would obviously in
Oh, is it
hindsight
too
turned
late
out
for
to be
that?
a big mistake. Yeah,
Oh,
They'd
well.
have to appoint, wouldn't they?
yeah, the Republicans
Yeah.
will appoint his.
Yeah.
I feel like we
successor.
should get another round at it.
Well, why the Democrats didn't run anybody for that position, I'll never know. But I don't know why the Democrats didn't run anybody for half the positions in Marion. I mean, they didn't lose by much.
They're not doing much. I mean,
Well, and like this Board of Elections, I mean, we're talking about nonpartisanship and who should run and who should be recruited. You got 14 days. This happened on Monday. There are 2 Democrats on that Board of Elections. What are they doing? I mean, I guess we'll find out tomorrow morning. I mean, they got just as much say in the Board of Elections as the Republicans do. It's 50-50. So are they going to fight for it tomorrow? I don't know. What do you think, Glenn?
I'm with you. I don't know.
Well, the rally's going on. I mean, there seems to be some momentum in this country for the Democrats. Who
Yes,
knows?
There is, and but I think people don't. I don't think they're associating those two things. The things that's really driving the rallies right now, I believe, is national politics. It's not the local stuff.
But I will also say there are Republicans from yesteryear who are not currently in office who I think would probably shape government in a different way than the current Republicans would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Jack Kellogg is one of those.
Yeah.
I think he would see the government a little different. If nobody asks Jack to run, I'm shocked. Somebody should. I mean, he's the only current former mayor living in Marion that could do this. You got Jack. As I said, you got people like...
Schertzer still lives in Marion, doesn't
no,
he?
No,
no,
he's
he
no
moved
longer
out?
here.
in Columbus.
But you've
Oh,
got
that's
people...
right.
But you've got people like, I mean, who are some long-term Republicans on city council? There were several of them who've retired and went on to other things. I don't think they feel the way the current Republican Party feels.
What if Jason runs?
Jason Schauber, right there you go. There's
Yeah.
somebody who I don't think... He's the only one who voted against suspending the rules on the charter.
He was also the only one that got ousted.
Well, here's his chance.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Are these people going to get involved? Is there going to be a push made for this? And I think it's probably the biggest question that's ever faced this city. This is the way the city government will run. I mean, Anthony, you're running for a position on city council that could be eliminated by this whole thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's goodbye.
it's good. Yeah, that's right. Hello,
Yeah.
goodbye.
How could it be eliminated?
They could eliminate council. They
Yeah.
could make
Oh,
it all
yeah.
at large
Yeah.
seats. They could do anything.
Yep.
That's why I don't understand why people would not, like why you would not want to be on the committee, because in case you don't win, I mean, of course we want to think positive that you're going to win, but if you don't, here's another crack at it.
I don't know. Still got 11 days. Mine could change.
Mine could change.
You can walk down to the Board of Election with me tomorrow morning.
You want to get your petition?
Yeah.
So you're
I
going to
am.
get your petition.
Yeah, I'm going to get my petition.
Well, there you go.
Didn't mean...
Not that you're right. You're going to pull one of
That's
those.
an exclusive right there.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I may
Biggie.
not sign it, but I'll get it.
But you only have to get 5 signatures. You can get those Saturday.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to get it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I don't know. It's,
Do not tell my wife.
no. 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 But I'm telling you, it's going to be fascinating.
Don't watch, Carol Ann.
Don't look. But who are the people in Marion? I do think that there are people here. They're probably just escaping my mind who have a serious stake in government, who are interested, who would be good at this.
Well, you've named several of them.
Right, and where I don't even know if they're aware of what's going on.
I would assume if they have something to do with politics of the city, they'd know at least roughly
But
what's
I don't.
happening.
Well, how many people will attend? Well, this women's group, the Women for Harris. Who was the head of that? Kara Stevens. Is she going to be on the committee?
Everyone on my committee, all three of the founders of Citizens for Democracy, live within the city limits.
There you go. Who are they?
Yeah, don't ask so fast. Terry Brown
Right.
and Fred Malone.
Fred Malone.
Oh, yeah, Fred Malone.
Well, there you go. Is Fred
Yeah.
Malone going to run? People
Yeah.
know who he
We got
is.
4 out of the 15.
Right there's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're counting me, so I haven't said so yet.
No, but I certainly there are.
You're leaning that direction.
I am
Yeah.
leaning that.
Yeah.
Christian Pearson, Joanne Casotis,
Joanne
Tom
would
Pannett.
be good. Yeah, Tom would be good too. Yeah.
All these people. Mike
Yeah.
Thomas, Naomi. Oh man.
Christian Pearson's
Christian Pearson.
parents.
His parents. Yeah. Oh, she was the is his grandmother in the city?
No,
she's not.
She's in Columbus, but I wish she was in the city.
Well,
She'd be a good one to be on it.
well, and some county commissioners from the past, I believe, live in the city now, who might be worth going to.
Are there any Democrats left? I don't know of any.
I don't know where Sheriff Bailey lives.
Who?
Sheriff
Sheriff
Bailey.
Bailey?
He was a
Oh
Democrat.
yeah, he's not. He's out in the county.
He's out in the county.
Yeah, I know where he's at.
Yeah.
He's not in the city, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of who used to attend these Democratic meetings. They used to be well attended.
Yeah.
Oh, most of the people are dead. They
Way to
really
get dark,
are.
Mary Ellen.
I know. What happened to the new people?
What?
Where did
Way
they-
to get dark.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the case. There's an usher at the Methodist Church that, and I can't think of his name, that's still alive.
Not a whole big group.
No.
I just think if some thought was put into this, I think one thing is the Democratic Party is not leaning toward its past. I mean, I think for this particular issue, I think they should lean toward the past because what you need is the big E experience if you're going to be crafting a city government. This is not a position for life. I mean, this is a 6-month position. That's it.
But it will affect.
But it will affect people for generations to come if it passes.
I figure name recognition is probably going to be the most relevant factor in
Oh, I
the
think it
race.
will. I think absolutely it will. Especially with this shorter notice. For people to get on the ballot and for people to I mean, even if somebody was going to campaign, you'd have less than 3 months. That's it.
It's long enough.
Long enough. Long enough. So, Anthony, how are you going to win in November? You got your own thing going on. Ron Prater, incumbent, 6th Ward. What's going on there?
It's just getting out to the doors and, attending as many events as I can and trying to reach the people of the 6th Ward.
Do you think you can win?
I think so. I think
You're somebody said to me the other day that you're campaigning, where a lot of people haven't. They've just, flew by the night.
And I think that's the difference. I think that's kind of where I bring the younger generation in, is I'm very active on social media. I send out statements. I do a thing every Wednesday so far. What's happening at City Council? I haven't done one today, but I think that's something new that people are enjoying. They're enjoying. I'm engaged. I'm active. I mean, Ron Prater's active on social media, but he's not getting his name out there. I think he's sitting on that incumbency that he has.
Do you think Dana Martin's got a chance for the at-large seat?
It's hard to tell. You got to beat. There's 4 of them, so you got to beat 1.
3. You only got to beat 1 though.
Okay.
3 Republicans. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you would think just the numbers game would put 1 Democrat in office in the at-large seat.
I think it's winnable.
Yeah, so here we are. And I think that's what Democrats right now need in Marion is a win, because they haven't had one in a while.
Sure, rub the salt in the wound.
Well, is Dana working hard? Is she doing anything?
I think she's working on her own stuff, and
Okay.
we touch base, but
Yeah.
I think as it gets closer, she's going to put more focus on it, hopefully.
She's at large, right?
Correct.
So here we are. What's this election going to be this November? I mean, what do you think the voter turnout will be, Glenn? You've lived here for a long time for a two-person election and a charter city referendum.
I think it'll be very low, like you do.
Yeah.
I was thinking 10%, but it could be even lower.
I don't even know if it'll be 10 for two races.
What was the percent last time?
20, wasn't it?
Oh,
It was really bad. I thought it was 17.
for a national election, it was bad, but I think
17 or something,
It
wasn't
was
it?
close to 20.
yeah, I think it was for a national election, it wasn't great.
No.
It was really bad.
So, I guess on the whole, here we are. How many people are turning up at these protests, Glenn? 300 still the record?
That's the record. And this last one was the date was chosen by the National Democratic Party, and it was a Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I saw that. I thought,
Which-
boy, that's an odd time.
It was an odd time, and I figured we'd have 10 or 12 people there. We had 40.
Oh, good. There you go. What do people do when they drive by?
Most of them honk and wave. We've had, 4 rallies so far, and the first one, there was a lot of finger waving, single finger waving. It wasn't bad. The second one, we had 6 or 7 Trump voters come and stand and kind of jeer at us from behind us. But the police helped us out with that. They kept them separated. The third one was the 300 people, and that was pretty inspiring. We had very few single finger salutes. And this one, I'm expecting that we will have, close to 100 people and probably a few jurors, but not a whole lot.
So what do you make of the whole Epstein file thing? This goes on and on and on and seems to be the thing that has turned Republicans against President Trump.
That's kind of hard to say. The hardcore Republicans, the ones that are in MAGA, they don't believe any of it, or they say it's all lies, and they poo-poo it that way. It's surprising that they don't really want to know what a corrupt SOB their leader is.
I can't think of as many as I know that there are, but I know Charlie Kirk has spoken against Donald Trump.
Joe Rogan has.
And Joe Rogan. Like Charlie Kirk. Big right wing, social media kind of person, influencer. That's the word. He's turned on Trump, at least on this issue. It seems.
A lot of Democrats expected, 6 months ago, when things started looking pretty bad for Trump, that it was going to flip overnight. Nothing. I'm sure, Mary Ellen, you've been in enough political things. It takes a long time for that flow to move the other direction. And it's now that we've got the people that you mentioned that are against Trump, that are Trumpsters, really, or were, it's starting to move that direction now. And I think it's just going to take forever.
Mary Ellen, what do you make of this whole Epstein files kerfluffle?
Well, it goes on and on and on, and the way he's trying to turn it off tells me it's really bad. Because why would he try to turn it off the way he does? Otherwise, it'd be out there.
Yeah.
And that gal that's in prison evidently was a bad one. She was really bad.
And she might testify.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think, Anthony?
A lot of people are saying there's going to be Democrats on it, and I see a lot of TikToks about we don't care, we're not like the Republicans, and we're not going to hide it. If there's a Democrat on there, we're going to
Too bad for them.
Yeah, so I think it should be released. He's obviously hiding it for a reason. You don't keep a secret if you're not hiding something. So,
But is there a list? I'm not sure. Maybe. I think there are flight logs,
Yeah.
but I don't know that there's anything more than that, and I don't know what that would
I mean, didn't
suggest.
Pam Bundy, or is that her name?
Pam
Bondi.
Bondi. She, told him, you're in his file.
Allegedly, she said that.
Yeah, but they all lie, so how do you know? I mean, the lying has gotten so big that you really don't know anything anymore. And
Yeah,
that's
but,
part
yeah.
of the deal. They want you to not believe anything anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think some of the things Trump has said in reference to the Epstein list are like one time he said that like it was something along the lines of the Epstein list isn't real, and even if it was, I'm not on it. I think you might just want to stick to it's not real if that's the story you're going with.
Who's the next leader of the Democratic Party nationally?
I would hope Pete Buttigieg.
I want Sam or Shapiro.
Shapiro?
I like him too.
Might be Newsom, maybe.
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 Cory Booker's certainly out there running.
Cory
Cory
Booker
Booker.
is a good, great
A lot
speaker.
of-
Kamala Harris is not running for governor of California. We learned that today.
I don't think she'll
who's
run.
the senator from Pennsylvania? I like that guy.
Yeah,
Wears shorts and
Oh,
has horrible outfits
yeah,
on.
yeah. I know you're
But I think he's really good.
Or Wes Moore. I liked Wes Moore.
That's not him. Who am I trying to think
What
of?
is the? He's on all the shows. He wears the hoodies.
Fettuccine or it's
Oh, what is it? It begins with an F.
heavy set guy.
No,
no, he's big. But
Oh,
he's
what?
not
Well,
heavy.
big, yeah.
Fetterman.
Fetterman, that's
Fetterman.
it. Yeah.
But who's the
Fetterman.
guy from Illinois, the Governor Pritzker? I think he's got a lot of money. He's a billionaire. He's, forceful.
He's a good speaker.
I think he's running.
I don't know about him. I don't know.
Could be Pritzker. So there are a lot of people.
Oh, there's a
out
lot
there.
of people. I mean, even the governor of Michigan,
sorry.
she's terrific.
Yeah.
So we've got an interesting bunch here, but what will happen? Bernie Sanders is still out. AOC.
It's not going to be Bernie Sanders.
No, I don't think it's
No.
going to be Bernie, but he's out
He's
there
too
with
old.
AOC,
Yeah.
and they're out
It's
there.
not going to be her either.
I think that
Yeah, she's the wrong color and the wrong gender.
Well, she's
I think-
too extreme.
Yeah, I was
She
gonna
is
say, I think
extreme.
she's
Yeah.
too far left. I think she alienates too many people from.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
you got
I don't
that.
think that she's got a great chance.
What do people want to hear?
Left center.
Hope.
is-
Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Something besides what we've been listening to, that's for sure.
I think they want to hear people that are what I ran on when I was running for mayor: honesty and empathy. They want people to be honest, by no little bends in it. Honest.
I don't
And then
know.
they want people to care about.
I think
it.
that's what people say, but then I don't know. You got people like Donald Trump ran and everything that you ever asked him questions about. Oh, it was the greatest it ever been in the history of the country. Obviously, the
That's
man's
what-
not telling the truth.
That's why I think we have
Lied
a
through his
stupid
teeth
populace.
multiple times throughout the campaign, and then we just opted to be like, politics, love it, and then voted him in anyways.
Yeah. That's
Well, he didn't get the
disappointing.
majority. I mean, you have to say that. Maybe people are just not enthusiastic about certain candidates. I mean, people discount that, but maybe it is that. Maybe people are not enthusiastic about the candidates being put in front of them. Maybe there would be somebody who would appear and they would get more than 50% of the popular vote. It could happen.
I'm going to nominate Peter PCA, the center fielder for the Cubs. He's phenomenal.
Oh, Ryan Sandberg died this week.
Yeah, he did.
The legendary Cub, Ryan Sandberg, number 23.
I have his jersey in my
Yeah,
closet,
that was
yeah.
sad. Prostate cancer.
yeah.
They're rather
Which
young.
is what I have.
65. But,
His was aggressive.
we hope it doesn't end the same way, Glenn.
It's a big show tonight.
This is a
gonna
rough
end.
show.
We're all gonna die.
Well, we're all going, but hopefully not in the near future. Hopefully we'll make it to the end of this show.
Hopefully you're on for the committee.
Yeah, that's right. You got to stay around for the committee and all those sort of things.
Keep talking. I'm not so sure.
I
about
don't
you.
know, Glenn. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. And Hulk Hogan's gone, so there's a vote for the Republicans down.
One of my, and I mentioned this to you, one of my former students at OU was his PR guy for several years, kind of a PR student, I guess. He wasn't the head PR guy, but he loved Hulk Hogan. He said he was really an honest, great guy. And I never saw that as a public persona. But
Anthony, in 20 seconds, why should people vote for you come November?
I'll be your voice. I'll be the one to listen and actually do things other than
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Come to a city council meeting and you'll know what that's all about. All right, for Glenn Coble, 3-time office runner, candidate.
Yeah.
There you go. And Anthony Azaria running for the 6th Ward, Matt Morgan, and 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow. For this episode of The Exchange, Scott Spears heading for the dugout.